Well, well, well. One thing the internet does not do is give us a lack of content to watch. That's the blessing and the curse of social media, especially if you are in a relationship. Social media has been responsible for the demise of many relationships because usually what's done in the dark may not always come to the light, but in today's modern age of technology and social media, there's a large likelihood that the debauchery that you may engage in, your significant other will see. It's, I'm laughing about it, but it's one of those laughing to not be so sad about it. And you're in Vegas. And what happens in Vegas no longer stays in Vegas. Our girl Keke Palmer knows all about that. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. If you are watching this video, do me a favor, hit the like button right now and hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so it'll let you know when I upload new videos when I'm going live like I'm doing right now. So, you see the title, you see the thumbnail. I was not going to talk about this because, as you know, I usually talk about content that relates to my faith, family, fatherhood, manhood, marriage, things like that. Keke Palmer is not married to her boyfriend. So I thought to myself, I'm not going to touch this. But then I thought also, right after that, this may be an opportunity for young men to use this as a lesson to vet the young ladies you're going to be with. And I'll explain to you why I'm going in that direction. I could talk about my opinions about Keke Palmer's outfit, her showing off her new quote unquote mom body and flaunting it for all of the internet to see. And mind you, her boyfriend was flaunting it too. So he's wrong also. He's slightly hypocritical in this whole situation. But this is about morals, values, and it being consistent. So she was out there in Vegas at the Usher concert. I think it was in Vegas. I could be wrong. I think it was in Vegas. Either way, at the Usher concert, and she wore a very revealing outfit, showed her cheeks. In the video that I saw, she was definitely flaunting it for Usher's eyes to see. And this is not up for debate. Watch the video yourself and you'll see it's happening. And yeah, it was posted on social media and her her boyfriend responded, but not in kind. Okay. So for those of you guys who are on both sides, because I'm gonna do a President 45, a President Donald Trump right now. There are good people on both sides of the argument. All right. But
Danger.
this is going to trigger some of you guys. Okay. You guys aren't going to like what I'm going to say, but let me go into some of the comments. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Elevate with Vern was the first one here. Nope. Nope. And she needs to let him go. So she thinks she was not disrespectful and that she needs to let him go, according to her recap song. Okay. I might have a difference of opinion or I might agree. We'll see. Yeah, she definitely disrespected her boyfriend. A true woman of God shouldn't wear scantily clad clothing nor be sexually suggestive with other men while she is in a relationship. But the issue here is if she was a true woman of God, well, some people make mistakes and they slip up, but she would probably marry him before she slept with another person. So, truth be told, this is pretty consistent with her values and her probably her faith. If she doesn't really have a solid relationship with God, just like she slept with her boyfriend to have a child, she wouldn't mind other men that she might be slightly attracted to look at her goodies, right? What's going on, Chavis? Glad you are here. All right, glad you were here. Always, brother. I appreciate you. And we got my brother from gotta stretch across the pond. What's going on? Gracious greatness. Hey, mommy, how you doing? Grandma Joe's in the building. We miss you in these YouTube streets, my sister. We miss you. With all Lamario says, with all due respect, they are not married. However, I think he's trying to convey to her what he's looking for in a wife. And we're going to get into that. And also some criticism for what he said, because well, I'll get there. I'll get there. I'll get there. What's going on, sis? So, all right, everybody else. Yes, sir. You were so right here. Not even up for debate. No, it's not. She had her back arched and everything so that Usher can roll up behind her and see her THONG in her fishnet dress. Elevate with Verm. Being a boyfriend or a husband does not give you the right to tell someone what to wear. She is grown. Come on, man, stop it. I will agree and disagree. The issue here is how she sees her significant other, or if a wife. A wife who wants to wear clothing exposing her body to other men really shouldn't be married. At least if she's of the Christian faith. And this is not my opinion about it. That's definitely biblical. If a woman wants to be a woman of God, if a woman wants to be that Proverbs 31 woman that women claim to be, if a woman who is a Christian claims that they are the prize, but yet they're showing their body off to everybody else, then she's really not the prize, not according to what the Bible claims a woman who would be the prize is. So yeah, so that's what my disagreement with you is, sis. But yeah, just because we're grown doesn't mean that we can do whatever we want. There's going to be consequences behind that. Just like we can like a older woman who says, a grown woman who says, well, I can have a OnlyFans if I want to. And then her child goes to school and the fathers are following mom on OnlyFans and one of their sons hack into dad's computer and sees his friend's mother's OnlyFans account. Then what? Then what? You can't say nothing to her, right? Because she's grown. And that argument about we're grown and we can do whatever we want, I don't know about all that. If you are not looking to be in a relationship, by all means, do that. But the beautiful thing about two people being in a relationship is that they're accountable to each other. They're accountable to each other. So you can't have expectations for a man to behave a certain way in a relationship that honors his wife or girlfriend, but then not tell a woman that she should behave in a way that honors her husband or her boyfriend. So it becomes inconsistent in this world of female power empowerment and sexual liberation. Yeah, I don't know. Dr. Umar going to say it's my fault that she was put in those circumstances. That now I heard what Dr. Umar said. Now let's be there's some truth there, but he is definitely looking to paint a narrative that's not all the way true. Okay, like in that I saw that video, and in that video he started off with how the black family came to be the way it is, right? Because of certain laws and legislation and stuff like that. But then blames the men afterwards, like, and then solely blames them. Like it wasn't, yeah. But I should do a video about that. I'm going to do a critique on that. Thank you for bringing that up. Well, don't look at my video. Don't look at my video. I am a woman of God. Amen. Mm. I saw this today, right? I saw Bishop Wooden, and he talked about people's perception, and I'm paraphrasing here, people's perception of faith, right? And how people come receive salvation and they tend to tell Jesus what they want their faith to be like, instead of asking God and Jesus, what should my faith be like? So I think I'm gonna recommend everybody watch that. I'm gonna see if I can find it in my history and put it so that you guys can watch it. But it was a very good video. It's reflective of what we should be looking at as people who believe in Christ or not. Um, let's get on the internet. Let's get likes on the internet was more important than that relationship. They're childish. Ooh, I agree. I agree. No disrespect, but if it was the BF at a Megan Thee Stallion concert and Megan was doing the most on him, would Keke be wrong for going off on social media? Not only would she, quote unquote, not be wrong, but she would have all the females on social media backing her up. All of them. Every single one of you ladies would be like, he's a dog, da, 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 you can't be doing that. But if a woman does it, she's a grown, like, it's her body, her choice, all that stuff. Oh, wrong one. Listen, I think today we live in a world of convenience. Like whatever's convenient to me is right. And I think that yeah, I have my opinions on them. But I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. Yep, I agree, Chavis. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, my sister. Getting the license. All right, right that. All right. Hold on. Chavis, no disrespect. We're having a conversation. We may not agree. However, Keke should not be upset with him at a Megan concert. Listen, my thing is, uh, I'm a married man, and if I am out there doing the most at a Megan Thee Stallion concert, right, and she's doing what Megan Thee Stallion does, and I'm called on stage, and she's doing the most on me, and it's called on. So I, I'm putting my, I'm embarrassing my wife. All right, embarrassing her by, and I mean, I don't know what the kind of outfit is equivalent to the outfit that Keke had for men, but yeah, I don't know if I would do that. I think it's a matter of how we look at the person that we're with, how we see them, how we view them, and what we want others to look for. I'll give you an example, right? Proverbs 31 woman. A Proverbs 31 woman, according to what Proverbs 31 says, behaves in a way where her husband is spoke about positively and is known at the city gates. He's respected because of the actions of his wife. Let's be real. Darius Jackson will not be respected because people are looking at his significant other on stage with her cheeks out in front of Usher. It's just, and Usher is loving all this attention too. All right, he literally tweeted, "Am I trending yet?" Like, come on. Usher is soaking all this attention up. His ticket sales are going through the roof, and it's probably already high. So I just went on vacation. I had a bikini top and some form-fitting outfits. I did not disrespect my husband by being myself, and men were looking. Well, men were looking, but it's one thing when men are looking. It's another thing when you are doing things for men to look, like Keke was doing for Usher to look. Now, listen, my sister, you watch that video. Keke had an agenda. Keke, right, was on a mission. Okay. She wanted Mr. Raymond to see those cheeks. Watch the video. No, don't watch the video. In fact, don't nobody watch that video. Please don't. I'm telling you guys, don't watch it. It's not going to help. Yeah. But she was on a mission. She was on a prowl. All right. She was on a prowl. I love when you guys are showing love in the chat. I'm just curious about when we're going to start telling men to quit embarrassing their girlfriends because they're a father. I'm not sure what you're referring to. How does that relate to like this situation as far as Darius embarrassing her as a father? Maybe we can, because I'm talking about this specific situation. We can talk about a broader thing, but if we talk about it broadly, we're going to talk about it in a balanced sense. We'll be discussing both the ills of the men and women who are doing a poor job co-parenting. We can talk about that. But yeah, we're not going to generalize right now. I'm just talking about this specific thing. Usher's counting the money on the sidelines. He sure is. Yep. And then he's in Vegas with all that money. You know what he's doing with that money. You know what he's doing. Cafe es bueno. Yes, it strikes again, unfortunately. Her man wanted the world to see. Now, Sister, you are right. Absolutely right. So let's get into this, okay? I'm glad you brought that up. It's a good segue. Okay. Here we have his response to this. I'm not playing the whole video because in a minute her cheeks are going to show. All right. But that's all you get. Okay. This is a family channel. But here's his response. It's the outfit though. You a mom. First off, it's you are a mom, Darius. So it's teacher here. It's that's what it is. It's you are a mom. Okay. That's one. But two, his response to everybody else's backlash. We live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want the wife or mother, that's not your wife, but she is the mother of your child, to his kids to showcase booty cheeks. I'm gonna get demonetized. Showcase cheeks to please others, and he gets told how much of a hater he is. This is my family and my representation. I have standards and morals to what I believe. I rest my case. Now, I'm going to come from this in two ways. Okay, he's right because we're in a society where men are demanded to lead in ways that women only want them to lead. And that's in provisions. Buy me whatever I want, when I want it, and how I want it, at the time I want it. All right. Make sure you lead my kids. Okay. Make sure you're there when I need you to fix things. But that's it. Don't lead me anywhere else. I don't. With most cases, not all cases, but many cases, in today's day, modern women don't want the man to step in and lead in areas that would help solidify and strengthen the family. Now, you may not like what I'm about to say, but it is what it is, right? Every strong society, every strong society, everyone from the beginning of time that flourished with a family mindset where the families worked together and the husband and wife considered one another when they did things. Today, we don't have that. Today, we have modern women believing that they can do whatever they want because they're grown and it's their body and they can do whatever they want, right? And the men that they're with can't say anything about it, can't be upset about it. And if they do, they're misogynistic and controlling. But we want to hold men to a standard, which they should be held to. But we want to hold men to a standard and tell men, you have to do all these things. But then when men say things like this, right? This is my family and my representation, which the husband represents the wife and the wife represents the husband. Okay, they're meant to complement one another in a healthy marriage. I have standards and morals to what I believe. This sounds good. However, this is coming from the same guy who posted a video on his Instagram of Keke Palmer clapping her cheeks. So this makes you look hypocritical on these internet streets, my brother. Real talk. So you can exploit your baby mama on the internet because it's you. But if she goes out there and wears what she wants, she's a problem. You're a mom, though. She was a mom when you posted that video of her clapping the cheeks. But now she's a mom. That's where the inconsistency gets me. Now, I agree, unless he has a come to God Jesus moment. At this point, he's not all the way right here. Now, this does not take away from Keke doing what she did. I don't agree with it. Okay, I don't. I just don't. Okay, I think, and this is my opinion. Take it or leave it if you want to. One of the most attractive traits of a woman is when she could present herself in a way that is attractive and classy without having to be revealing. And I think that is a beautiful thing. I think it's a beautiful thing. Okay. It doesn't leave men to have to the place where they have to fantasize. And ladies, you can say all this you want about this whole um objectifying women, men objectifying women. Women should be able to wear whatever they want. You can wear whatever you want, but let's be real. If you want to go out there and wearing the very same outfits that streetwalkers used to wear in the 80s and 90s and the early 2000s, and then not expect for men to look at you as an object, you're sorely mistaken. Now, men should be controlling their eyes, but if you give a man something to look at, you know what he's probably going to do? He's probably going to look. Like, why do modern women go out there saying things like, I can wear whatever I want, and men shouldn't be looking at you? Like you're wearing it. So people are going to look. Like we go into some like ideologies that's absolutely astounding. And I'm being nice here. Astounding. Right? But again, this doesn't take away from the men should be able to control their eyes. But man, let's talk. Let's be real here, guys. Let's be real, for real. Okay. Now back to the whole thing. Back to this. Now I'm gonna hold on. I have to hide this on the stream because the next slide is him in underwear, because he posted a picture of him in his underwear, or maybe boxes, I don't know, with his tattoo out, thirst trapping for women on the gram. Okay. And yeah, and then there's one here of him posting. Yeah, I can't show that to you guys on my channel. But so yeah, you guys may not like what I'm saying today, but we have to be real. We have to look at it extremely objectively. Like, come on. Like we live in a time where the only gender that's allowed to be held accountable for their actions are men. The male gender in society today are the only people group that's allowed to be held accountable for their actions. And it's nonsense. Like, we're grown and we're adults. So understand that your actions may bring on consequences. Life of Leo, what's going on, sis? Haven't seen you in a minute. How you been? Oh, life only. No, that could be different. I think that's, oh, next time, the outfit was too sexual. Like the next step from that dress was to be, yeah, I agree. I hope I'm wrong, but it wouldn't surprise me if Usher didn't get some Keke. Uh, yeah. It's yeah. My brother. Okay, so her backside was out and Usher was looking. It was a concert. It is entertainment. Period. Why are we are so upset? Well, if Usher was on, it's entertainment. If Usher was performing, Keke wasn't performing though, right? Was Keke performing? Was Keke on stage? Right? Was she headlining? Was she one of the runner up? Like, you know, what's the groups that come on that come on for the headliner opening acts? Was she an opening act? No, she was there. Probably, I think it was for her birthday, having a good time. Her cheeks were out, and then as Usher is approaching her, sister, my sister, right? I know we're probably going to go offline and talk about this. As he was approaching her, she had her back turned, recording on IG, back slightly arched, while he was looking at her goods as he was approaching her. So it's entertainment, but he wasn't the one out there with his cheeks out. She was. She's an unwed mom, and no one is making an issue of that. Oh, no, by all means. I said that early in the video. Yeah, I said that. So that's another issue. But yeah, the act is already done. They have a baby out of this. So yeah. But now here's the thing. She's an unwed mom. And if this man's morals and values changed, she's going to continue to be an unwed mom, because now he may not be looking for a woman that is out there showing off her cheeks. And here's the thing. That's the consequences for her actions. And she has to live with that. Or they may not even be together right now. Someone sent me the video on Instagram. I have it right here. I'm going to send it to you right now. Well, actually, let me send it to you after I do the live, okay? Elevate with Vern, sister. Be real with that dress. Was that dress God honoring? Would any girl want to be wearing that when Jesus comes back? Good question. Good question. No protection without correction, and that's a good point too. Um, Women want men to be the protector, provider, all the P's that goes with manhood, right? And when it comes to correction, it's like, don't correct me, leave me alone. Men are corrected all the time, but generally, not just not all women are like this. So let me just state that when it comes to correction, that's not meant to control, but meant to strengthen the family. It's like, don't tell me what to do, and it's what kind of man do you guys want? Let's and honestly asking. Leave a comment down below, or leave a comment in the chat, ladies. What kind of man do you really want? If you're looking for a partner that you just live life together with and you share everything 50-50, you don't tell him nothing, he can't tell you nothing, and you guys are living your life, that's all good. I'm not talking to you. But if you are a woman who wants a man to protect, provide, and lead, how do you expect him to do so if he notices something that could be damaging to the marriage and relationship and he addresses it? When he addresses it, you tear him up for it? You dismiss him for it? Like, what kind of man do you want? Let's be real. No, firstly, they have had a child out of marriage. Facts. And secondly, he is inconsistent. Facts. Because he posted videos of her clapping cheeks. Facts. I agree 100% with you. 100%. This is why I'm coming from like multiple angles here. But you are absolutely right, Coach C. Joe J. Did I say that correct? Hopefully I said that correctly. You're 100% correct. Hmm. I mean, can we be honest? Do we really think Darius was upset over what she was wearing, or was she jealous? Ooh, at a higher value man showing interest. That part I think was entertainment. I don't think Usher was really in power. But hey, shout out to Elevate with Vern with the $1.99 super sticker. Greatly appreciate you, sis. Yeah, but most certainly he was jealous. Most certainly he was jealous, right? Watching his baby mother, his children's mother, living her hot girl summer, right, in Vegas, definitely made him feel a certain way. And while we're on the topic of jealousy, danger. For a married couple who loves one another unconditionally, jealousy can be a positive tool to use and to utilize when someone is coming in the relationship to tear the relationship apart. If there's a young lady who's coming next to me and I may miss certain behavioral cues, my wife may say, Dre, I need you to be careful of this one because she seems to be a little flirty with you. And I'm not sure if you notice, and I may not notice. I'm just giving an example. But I need you to watch that. Now, I can look at my wife and say, why are you being jealous for? Or knowing that she's a part of this team and she wants a solid marriage, I'm going to take what she says in consideration and say, you know what? I'm gonna allow my antennas to go up and keep my eye out on this young lady, because if it's true, then my wife and her jealousy may have just saved our marriage. So jealousy isn't a bad thing if it's going to be used to strengthen a relationship. But when you're on social media and your girl is out there and you blast her on social media for what she's wearing, yeah, that's not really the type of jealousy that you want. Like, get on the phone with her and say, listen, babe, I saw you on social media. This does not make us look good. It doesn't. We need to have a conversation when you get back. Or, yeah, no. You're going to tell her while she's on vacation, we need to have a conversation when you get back. Let her sweat it out, bro. Let her sweat it out. The whole time she's out there, because she was at concert with her cheeks out, let her sweat it out, wondering what you guys are going to be talking about when she gets back. All right? Baby, let's talk now. No, baby. I want you to have a good time. You stay in Vegas. You keep having a good time. When you get back, we'll have a discussion. Okay? I love you. Have a good day. Have a good week. Make her sweat it out. All right. I'm trolling, but am I? All right. Let's keep going. I'm glad I'm married now because if these are the standards out here for us men, we consider being single. I would consider being single until the Lord comes calls me home. Dating today is extremely difficult because there aren't really solid standards anymore. People aren't consistent. People date for convenience and not to find somebody that they are compatible with, to choose to live and love with somebody. He can look, but he can't touch. Sure, I gotta be honest. I don't want no man looking at my wife. They can't look or can't touch. But if they do, my wife better not be giving them something to look at. Just saying. Yeah. Hey, hey, I'm good, sir. Hey, hey. All right. Keke put herself onto him. He was performing, and she got too excited. She sure did. She sure did. Do a Zoom, brother, about it. Let's talk about it. Hey, here's what I'll do. I am going to drop the link for anybody that want to come, and let me drop the link for you guys. If you guys want to join the discussion, and I'm going to pin it at the top for you guys. Okay, it's pinned. All right. If you guys want to talk about it. Okay. Yes, I am. I'm taking calls today. So I'm taking calls. So you guys can call in. The link is there. Let's talk about it. He can't use that as an excuse now. When he posted her clapping cheeks and he's done. I agree. Like, it's one of those things where, bro, you set the tone. You set the tone. You did that first. So why get mad at her now? It's like, and it makes him look even worse. It does. You make me want to listen. Gracious greatness is on one. Start a new relationship with you. This is what you do. Listen, Raymond, was that the song he was singing though? I didn't even know if that was a song. I wasn't even watching to listen. I love my sister because she's going to bring that word. Ephesians 4:24-32 says, "Clothe yourself with the new self, created according to the likeness of God in true righteousness." That is where the standards start from. Measured. Listen. That's the standard. That's where we are. That's where we should be. I don't see where that's happening. How does anything he has done? How does again? I don't know too much about this. I'm only referring to this specific situation. Because again, I know that they both posted photos about their family and stuff like that. But again, I don't know if he's in the best position to complain about her wearing what she wore. Not if you're posting videos of her, just her backside, doing what she does with her backside. So I don't think they had a conversation about what they wanted out of this relationship. And they are now figuring out that they aren't compatible anymore live on the internet. I think you assessed that situation extremely accurately. I think that what you wrote right there is what's happening before all eyes. Before all eyes. And the issue is like Keke seems to be a happy person. Like, she seems to be happy. She seems to be a lover of life. And since she started working for like those daytime television shows, her life has been on Front Street in many ways. And she has been the proponent of putting her life out there on Front Street, from having a baby to being in a relationship with this guy to other things as well, and movies, stuff like that. And now she's allowing this relationship to play out the way it's playing out live on the internet. And he has a part of this as well. He has a part in this as well. Okay, you're not completely innocent, my brother. You're not. Yes, and thank you so much for the super sticker. I think at the end of the day, every woman and man alike wants to feel like they've still got it. I agree. The end result doesn't have to mean they intend on cheating. I agree. But can I ask a question, sis? Like, do you still have like can you show that you still got it without showing your cheeks to everybody? Like could that be an option? Right? Because here's the thing, right? A guy like me will probably find it offensive if a woman is walking around with her cheeks out. But I would be bashed because I'm offended by it. My offense is irrelevant. My offense is hate. All right. What if Usher at his concert did something like expose himself? Right. Let's say we'll use Darius. Darius goes to a Meg the Stallion's too easy. A hmm, a Jill Scott concert. Nah, Jill Scott may like that. Uh um uh a Jennifer Hudson concert, right? And Jennifer Hudson is serenading him, and he's wearing a tight muscle shirt. Yeah, he's looking all good, but then he exposes himself to her. All right, is he grown then? Can he do whatever he wants? I mean, he's grown, right? And Keke can't be mad because he's grown and they ain't married. Is that all right? Usher is a fine specimen of a man. Oh gosh. Usher is in a whole relationship with two kids. He's not thinking about. I agree. I agree. And I think, hey, shout out to the Cjo with the Cjo with the super chat. Streamlabs need subscriptions. Have I oh wait, no, they don't. They shouldn't need a subscription to join. They should not. You should just be able to click the link and join. It's supposed to be the easiest way to have a conversation. No, you shouldn't need a subscription to click that link. I hope not. Isn't that toxic? Nah, that's manipulative. What if he did this? What if he did have the conversation? I think he responded because the information went public. Some things demand a public response. Yeah, or a public breakup. I don't know if I would be like, um, I say what I would probably have done publicly is say, um, thank you for our time together. I want you to enjoy yourself. And we are going to be the best co-parents ever. and leave it at that. Right. All right. I see you in the background in the back. Give me 1 second. Let me just read this one and then we're going to get you up. It never requires a public response unless someone is interviewing you, and then it's a high bar during the discussion. Do we have to have no, you don't have to have your camera on. All right. Just don't go like people get brave if the camera's not on. All right. Like don't be trying to like curse me out. All right. But let's have a decent conversation. I know I think he was singing There Goes My Baby. Oh, there goes my baby. All right. All right. Let me get you in, sis. Hello.
Hey, sorry, it's all dog. I'm sick, so I
Not a
look
problem.
terrible.
Not a
So
problem. How's it going?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on. I don't curse at people, so don't worry.
Good, good. All right.
Yeah, so what I was gonna say is, so first of all, she's a celebrity, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
she is not your average woman, and even within the celebrity realm, she is an actress. Someone I was having a chat with about this with someone earlier. They said, well, why they would date someone like India Arie or someone like that,
Mhm.
and that's fine. India Arie is kind of more earthy, and she doesn't really reveal, doesn't wear revealing clothing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Keke is more in the pop, actress realm, and they in these days anyway they tend to show some skin, right?
Mhm.
So first of all, any guy who is dating her has to be comfortable with that. Now there's levels to that too, right?
Well, when
Sorry.
did she start showing off her skin? After the baby?
No, I think, and that's funny too because I had thought that as well,
Hmm.
But someone told me no, she's always worn revealing clothes. Now she's not one of those people who's out there like
Yeah.
maybe the Kardashians, right?
Yeah.
So but she's just, she wears what a lot of celebrity, ladies wear, the
Hmm.
young celebrity ladies. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. First of all, you have to be comfortable dating a woman like that. And you're right, right? You
So
said, yeah,
if I can give just a little pushback, I don't know if men have to be comfortable. I think men should have the choice to
yes.
say, no, I don't want to date somebody that dresses that way.
That's right. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. If
I should
you're
say.
when you're choosing who you want to date, I should
Yeah.
say, you have to decide if you're comfortable
Hmm.
with someone like that, right? Now, I've heard a lot of people call her words like H,
Yeah. 304 is
he's a yeah, exactly,
yeah.
and whatnot. And I don't, in this day and age, I don't think the two are synonymous. Just because someone is wearing kind of revealing clothes doesn't mean that they're promiscuous or anything like that.
And that's I mentioned that before,
Right.
where the lines have been extremely blurred now because women today
Yeah.
are allowed to and are even celebrated for walking around in outfits that streetwalkers on 42nd Street back in the 80s and 90s walked around.
Okay.
And it's like, so
Yeah.
so I think that point you just made
Mm-hmm.
is a very valid point.
Mm-hmm.
It's no longer synonymous, right?
Right. Right.
But
Yes.
but the problem is, like, when I don't know if we're ever going to completely get away from that mindset when we
Mhm.
see young ladies dressed that way.
Right. I mean, yes, I agree with you. It's kind of hard to. I don't know where we start changing the culture, if you like,
Yeah.
other than celebrating more people who don't wear revealing
Mhm.
clothing. But it's kind of like a catch-22,
Mhm.
because this is already the way it is, and everyone kind of feels that's what they have to do to
Yeah.
get ahead, and
That's
it's hard to know where to, and it's what sells,
yeah.
right,
Yeah.
to an extent. So it's kind of hard to change course. Now it's not impossible. Like I said, we can celebrate people who are more conservative, if you like, in their dressing. Plus there's a variety. You can choose who you want to celebrate, right? So
Yeah.
that's the whole point.
Yeah.
So okay, so now so a guy who is deciding who to date, a guy or girl or a lady,
Mhm.
if you want to be with a celebrity, because again, out of average women who are not celebrities, there are plenty of women who do not dress like that. Most women do
Mhm.
not dress like that,
Yeah.
right? And then, so if you're going to be with a celebrity, and Keke, I don't know her, but again, she doesn't strike me as one who is out there like that,
Mhm.
um now I've heard people say they're not married.
Mhm.
Uh, Another ridiculous one is that he's broke,
Mhm.
and so therefore he can't have an opinion, which is ridiculous in my opinion.
Yeah. I agree. I agree.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
No, they're in a relationship, and when you're in a relationship and you love each other, you do have some say in what the other person does,
Yeah.
right? To an extent,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Again, like you said, you are representatives of one another,
Mhm.
and you move as a unit, and you want the best for each other.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
again, I don't know his motives. Again, I can't say with all confidence that this is where he's coming from because of what he posted prior.
Yeah,
Uh, but
exactly.
but let's a good man who
Hmm.
really loves his wife,
Hmm.
and I'm only speaking in terms of like even dating, right? He wants a woman to be his wife.
Yeah.
I think he's going to want to protect her and
Hmm.
her image at the same time. So he's going to say, I don't. A good man's not is going to think to himself, I don't want people's perception of my wife or future wife to be that she's a 304.
Hmm.
I'll give you a perfect example. Okay, in the Bible,
Hmm.
the Immaculate Conception of Mary left Joseph in a very tough spot,
Right.
and he could have left her. He could have embarrassed her, right?
Hmm.
All that stuff. But instead, he did the opposite, right? Instead, he protected her. He kept it quiet, and he married her, and Jesus was born, right? And that example is one of a man protecting what his wife looks like to the public.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and we tend to think of a man who does that as being misogynistic and controlling. But if he's
Hmm.
loving, if he's loving and concerned about her image, he should say something, not in a controlling manner. Like, if you don't, if you better not go out like that, or else, no, babe, I want you to consider this. You dressing like that is going to draw attention. Baby, you're beautiful without that. You're going to get the attention without that. Why must your cheeks be out? Okay.
Yeah.
Why are the tops of your areola showing? Like, that's not necessary. Yeah, like, you're beautiful, and people are going to look, right? And a confident man is going to know that too. Confident man is going to know that his wife is beautiful. Men and women alike they're going to look. All right.
Can I say something
Yeah,
there?
absolutely.
And I'm, again, some people say you can't say anything. I don't agree with that, right?
Hmm.
Your partners, you can guide each other.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, if a guy said that to me that way, I actually wouldn't respond well to that. I'm trying to, and as you were saying it, I was
Yeah.
trying to pinpoint where I wouldn't.
Yeah.
And I agree that her outfit was too revealing for me. Like, I personally wouldn't have worn that even as a celebrity.
Hmm.
I think oh my god, you know what? I don't like the approach of saying men are going to look, right? Because again, I think that puts the onus on the woman um to be in charge of men's sexuality, and also to I just feel I'd feel better if he just said, "Hey, that's too revealing." I think it's a bit too revealing, and that's
Hmm.
fine for me. And I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Hmm.
And I'll consider what he says. If I agree, I'll change my outfit, right? So you feel free to tell me if you think that I'm looking at it like in a weird way. But yeah, I don't know why that didn't quite sit well with me.
So communication, people receive messages very differently. So I can't tell you that you're wrong for how
Sure.
you would receive that. So I'm not saying that. I
Hmm.
think the perspective is just sharing the reality. If a
Hmm.
woman is beautiful and that she may have a ratio with a waist thinner than her hips, it's going to draw attention. It's
Sure.
going to draw attention. And admonishing your a wife, saying you are beautiful. And I see you in the back, so please don't go nowhere. Yeah, I see you there. Please don't go nowhere. All right, you are beautiful. Oh, that's Andrea. Don't go anywhere. She's gonna come up here and turn up. I'm telling you right now.
Okay.
Um, you are beautiful, and yes, babe, you have curves. But I see. I do hear what you're saying though. Like,
Yeah.
how you would just like to be approached is, just tell me it's too revealing,
Yeah.
and
That's
then
it.
okay, I got you.
Because I don't like to think, oh, men are going to be looking, and I just think it puts a woman in a difficult position.
Hmm.
For me, like I said, I just want to hear it's a bit too revealing.
Yeah,
Let's maybe something else would be better.
yeah, that's
Um,
a good point.
so now my problem. So I had no problem with him having certain feelings about it. I had no problem with him being jealous or whatever. I think some of that stuff is normal in a
Yeah.
relationship.
Hmm.
My problem, which I think everyone else has said too, you do not go onto social media
Hmm.
and do what he did, which was to blast her and say, but you a mom. That's not the way to approach it.
Hmm.
You guys set a tone for your relationship. I don't know, and I'm like, I don't know if he didn't see the outfit before she left the house.
I
I
think
Yeah,
I'm not even sure if, because he Usher's at a residency in Vegas.
Vegas, yes.
Unless she lives in Vegas, she went away. Unless they both live in
Oh,
Vegas.
I didn't
So
even think about that.
yeah. So it's because his residency is in Vegas. He's there the whole
Yes,
time.
yes.
So she had to be in Vegas at the concert.
Right. So she maybe went out and got a cute outfit or whatever, what she thought was
Mhm.
cute, and he didn't know. And you know what? Now that you say that, it does strike me as maybe that was the first time he was seeing seeing the
Yeah,
outfit,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
But
absolutely.
I think he should have had enough self-control and trust in her as
Hmm.
his partner. And and wanting the best for her, understanding her celebrity status as well, because you have to understand your partner.
I,
Right?
but I don't know if celebrity is the allowance for people to dress how they want. I mean,
No,
people dress
no,
how they want, but I don't know if that could be the allowance.
no,
Like,
no, no. What I mean is just that he should have known, he should have anticipated what was going to
mm,
happen in
yeah,
terms of him approaching it that way. So you go
mm,
onto social media, you broadcast it to the world. This is now not a discussion just between you and your partner, which is what,
mhm,
as you said earlier,
yeah,
is what it should have been. Even if
yeah,
you want
I
to
agree.
text her and be like, babe,
Hmm.
what is this that I'm seeing?
Yeah,
You know?
and
um,
we're gonna talk about this when you get home. I
exactly,
love you. Bye,
exactly,
and leave it
exactly.
at that. Like, let her sweat it out.
And then, and you know what, if she's there for a few days now, it
Yeah,
also makes her think twice about what she's going to wear for the next few days
yeah,
too, right?
yeah.
If she's
Hmm.
and then, so now you've put the world in between the two of you, and this is what I mean about her celebrity status.
Hmm.
Now you know everyone's going to have an opinion.
Hmm.
She has a certain image as a relatively good girl, if you ask me, in
Yeah,
terms of celebrities.
yeah.
And you know, there's this whole female empowerment movement.
Hmm.
So people are going to come out, and now you've put her in a position where she has to do something,
Yeah,
right? She
yeah,
has to respond in some way. So I just think that it was impulsive, and he should have had enough self control not to approach it that way.
yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Give me 1 second, my son.
Sure. And sorry, feel free to bring other people on if I've been on too long.
Yeah, no, no, I will. But stay on, okay?
Okay.
Let me get Andrea in here. All right, she's about to turn up. Andrea, you there? I'll leave it up. Andrea.
How do I
Actually,
get a logo so that it's not looking so
no, it's cool.
bleak? It's not looking so
So,
bleak on
so
my
let
end.
me ask you a question then. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
What if Darius was at a concert
Mm-hmm.
and he wore an outfit that exposed himself?
Okay.
And what if Keke responded the same way he responded to her? How do you think social media, how do you think
Hmm.
women would respond?
It's so hard to imagine this scenario because
Mhm.
it's hard to imagine an outfit that
Yeah,
would be
agree.
equivalent for a guy. But I'm thinking, okay, he's out, shirt open, maybe he's topless, whatever, walking
Mhm.
around, at least maybe having women all up on him
Mhm.
and stuff. Um, I think, you know what, I'll agree with you that I think that maybe she would be given a bit more grace than he would.
Mhm.
But I still think people would come for her. I don't think it's gonna be like all positive. Yes, girl. We know, I do think some people would mock her for it and
Mhm.
tell her that it's. I do think at least people would say this should not be online, right?
Mhm.
But I agree. Maybe people would have a bit more empathy for her
Yeah,
than for him.
yeah,
Yeah,
I agree. I think the sisterhood would definitely back her up.
the
And
sisterhood.
which, listen, one thing I agree with is that there's power in numbers. So I'm not mad that there's a sisterhood or like this sisterhood out there.
Yeah.
You support each other. I agree. I think men need to be a little bit more supportive of each other and hold each other accountable. But oh, she dropped off. That's cool though.
Oh,
But yeah, I think the points that you made was extremely valid. But in this situation, I honestly believe that the sisterhood and the majority of the women that are active on social media, especially the young ones, would be blasting him for disrespecting her as a woman,
yes.
specifically a black woman, on the internet.
I agree. There's definitely a female empowerment movement, which I agree with you. I support, but it does get a bit out of hand at times and unfair at times. And again, I think it's hard to imagine. I'll be careful with my words, but again, to
Mm.
imagine an outfit that will be equivalent for a guy, you're
Yeah,
not you're not so much you start to worry about something else, right? If
yeah,
he's wearing
yeah,
revealing, if
yeah.
he's wearing very revealing
All right,
clothes,
so let's not even let's because yeah, you're right with the clothes thing. But let's
yeah,
say, right, he
yeah,
goes to a Jennifer Hudson concert,
yes,
right? Or let's do, yeah, Jennifer Hudson, right?
hmm
And she starts putting, when as she's singing to him, and
hmm
his shirt is open, her hand is now caressing his chest and his
Yes.
abs,
Good
right?
scenario. Yes. Yes.
And uh and he's making motions, right? As if he's welcoming that kind of
Hmm.
attention.
Hmm.
How would the internet respond?
Yeah, no, I agree with you because of the female empowerment movement, there'll now be
Mhm.
the he's a dog
Yeah,
part of it,
yeah,
right? Which
yeah,
would then be put the blame on him.
yeah,
I agree. I think there's a bit of a double standard. I do.
mhm, yeah,
But again, yeah, in that, yes, yes, I
yeah.
agree with you. I think there's a bit of a double standard there.
And then women in droves, not all women, but women in droves will be on the internet. You need to dump him now. Kick him to the
yeah,
curb.
that's right. That's right.
To the
But that's
left,
what
to the
they're
left.
doing now. But
Yeah,
that's what the guys are doing now for Kiki.
yeah.
They're
Girl, but
saying,
women too. 'Cause
and women.
My sister Burns is all up in the chat saying he needs to leave her, or she needs to leave him.
No, 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 but wait, no, but
Yeah,
men are saying that to him,
yeah.
saying she's a such and such. You should have known what she was before you got with her.
Hmm.
Everyone's just jumping to massive
Yeah,
conclusions,
conclusions. I
right?
agree.
So
Yeah,
I do agree that it's a bit concerning that he would go online and do that. I think
yeah.
from
So
you
from a man, as a man, and from a male perspective, so I'll be a couple of years ago
know, mhm.
in my like early 20s, I probably would have responded the same way. Okay.
In what way?
Probably like upset, what's with like responding, what's with your outfit?
Oh,
You know,
okay,
what
yeah,
kind of outfit is that? All right.
yeah,
Your whole wife, well, if she was a wife, your whole wife and mom, like, what's up with that? So at that age, men
hmm,
can be extremely insecure. And because of that, the insecurity, they're unable to respond appropriately to negative situations that they see involving their significant other. They become jealous. And when you are jealous and insecure, it's a dangerous combination, a very dangerous combination, because you tend to do things to hurt the relationship more than help it.
hmm,
As I got older, I became a little bit more confident and more grounded in myself
hmm,
to understand that, okay, I need to respond to this so that one, the dignity of my partner is left intact.
yes,
Two, I am communicating what I desire in our relationship.
right, yep,
And three, waiting for the response to see if this relationship is going to continue going on. Okay.
right, exactly.
Yeah. So, and again, I gotta be honest, like that took time. And when we're living in a world now, and this is when I go into the whole red pill. So,
Uh oh.
gentlemen, you ain't gonna like this. Okay. We have men, young men, also like in the early 30s or whatever, giving very poor advice to men in regards to relationships with women, because
Hmm.
now they're demanding certain things and they're treating women a certain way that's not helpful for relationships as well.
Agree.
It's not helpful. So we have younger men getting their advice from just slightly older men who have never been in a solid relationship, who do not know how to handle situations that come up and conflicts that come up in a relationship, and they're telling them how they need to behave. Kick her to the curb. She's a 304 anyway. Things like that,
Exactly. Yeah.
and it's not helping. And what that does is it compounds on the trauma that men have, because now they're not dealing with the situation appropriately, and some things need to be confronted. There
Mhm.
needs to be friction in relationships so that mending can happen. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And men aren't taught that friction is good. Men are taught that you need to have your way. Women need to be worshiping you. Women need to be, cowering at your feet, and they need to be submissive and not to talk
Yeah.
back.
Yes.
And so, what happens when they talk back? Because it's going to happen. My brother, what's going to happen? What advice do you have
Hmm.
to respond violently, to get disrespectful? How does that
Exactly.
help? So, um, yeah, men they don't know how to respond. So,
Yeah.
in Darius's case, he doesn't know how to respond.
Well, and then yeah, so I hear you, and then that's the problem too, because now there's pressure on both of them,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Now there's pressure on both of them in this public sphere. In fairness to him, that he would have had that pressure had he said nothing, right? Because your lady's out there, she's showing her cheeks,
Hmm.
just much like the pressure that Russell Simmons, Wilson,
Listen, ah,
Russell Wilson had when Ciara was in her outfit, right? In
Yeah.
her very revealing outfit.
Hmm.
So, so in fairness to him, he would have had that pressure because everyone would, the guys, especially the red pill
Yeah.
guys,
I
would
got
have
me too. I did a video responding to that too. Yeah, I wasn't.
to Ciara, Russell Wilson.
Yeah, and
Okay.
so again, the reason why I did, and the reason why I wasn't going to talk about this, is because Russell Wilson
Mm-hmm.
told the public that God told him,
Yes.
right, to lead her. And if
Okay.
God tells a man to lead a woman,
Mhm.
and he's okay and co-signing that, then there's a line there that cross, and I don't know if God is really leading
I
him
mean,
to lead his wife, but
fair enough. And the funny thing to me is, even if you put aside the, can I say sexy on here?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think that's gonna get me demonetized. I hope.
Okay. Even if you put aside the overly sexiness of the outfits,
Mhm.
it's not even that for me. At some point, it just looks unattractive. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't look good. Even, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and here's the thing, right? For the most part, right? And this is something that ladies, I hope that you guys understand and hear my heart on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, for the most part, men would see a woman dressed like that and
Mm-hmm.
think, "Yo, she looks good," but also think, "But she can't be my wife."
Yes, I believe that. I believe that.
Like they don't mind looking like, "Yo, she looks bad. Yo, she looks good. She just can't be my wife."
And is it mostly that for guys? Is it mostly that other people would want her too much, or is it that it doesn't look It doesn't that it's vulgar?
I don't. So it doesn't. As he said in his reply about it doesn't like about a relationship representing him.
Mm-hmm.
I think men understand that their relationship represents them.
Yes.
So it's like a bad company corrupt good morals. Birds
Mm-hmm.
of a feather flock together. If you hang around with bad friends, you're going to be associated with that kind of behavior, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If a man's wife is out there with her cheeks out, he's going to be associated with that behavior. So people are looking at it like, what do you mean she represents him? Like what he controls what she's doing? No, it's not that. It's not
Mm-hmm.
that. It's the fact that he's going to be associated with that behavior,
Mm-hmm.
and he doesn't want that association.
Yeah. Yeah. Andrea's saying that it wouldn't let her unmute her mic.
What is up with Melon? You're killing me here.
I had a little trouble with it too. That's why I was asking if I had to get a subscription.
No, you shouldn't have. Andrea, try to I have another option, Andrea. I always got other options. Give me a second. I'll set up the phone and you can call the phone. Give me one moment and I'll set it up. Okay, we'll get you on because Andrea's going to turn up.
I can't wait.
Turn up.
So
Right.
my thing is, and again, I'm not one of. I think he was perfectly within his rights to have feelings about it, to have opinions, and to tell his partner, but just not online, right? You don't do that online. Again, like you said, I like what you said, to preserve my partner's dignity. That is
Yes.
very important.
Yes.
You know?
100%.
And that, I think that was his mistake. I think that was his error.
Mhm.
And who knows, Keke may, like you said, if she's gone away to Vegas and she didn't think twice, she was comfortable with the outfit, but she didn't
Mhm.
think that he would be upset about it. So if we give them both the benefit of the doubt and she's put that on and then only finding out after the fact that he's upset about it,
Yeah.
who knows? She probably would have welcomed the feedback and welcomed
Yeah.
talking with him about it. But
Yeah.
again, now you've humiliated her in public.
Mhm.
It's just not a good
Yeah.
approach.
And I think he felt like he was humiliated. And I don't know if
Yes.
he was thinking that.
Exactly. Exactly.
But what
So
he did. Yeah.
that's why you have to mutually respect and trust each other. And when you approach things that way, you at least feel like the other person is not intentionally trying to hurt you,
Yeah.
right? And then that way you can approach things more calmly, right? Without thinking that you're being disrespected by the other person.
Yeah. I'm putting a number in the live stream now. Hopefully that works. And I'm gonna get Honestly and Vern up here to share their thoughts. I know Vern's gonna come at me too. I know she's coming at me.
Who's that? Who's laughing?
That's Vern's laughing.
Hi, everybody.
No, that's on us. That's on.
Hi.
You guys,
One of the
Yeah,
ladies said that she couldn't unmute her mic.
yeah, I'm gonna give her an option to call in.
Okay.
All right. So honestly, what's going on?
grace and peace, man. I'm glad. God bless everybody on the channel. I'm actually in the process of walking around. That's why I didn't cam up really quick. But I'm when I look at this, a few things come to my mind. I think like the world is going to be the world. But the thing about Darius is I know he purports to be a Christian.
Yeah.
And this is where I was conflicted. Number one, let me start off by saying, did she disrespect him? Yes, I think she did.
Yeah.
Like that's just the answer to your question. Yes. I also think they disrespected each other because since she's had the child, I don't know if you saw this, but there are videos of him with her and like
press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Say that one more time.
There are videos of her with him in like cat suits and him telling her to like twerk and stuff.
Yeah. That's what I
So
referred
a part
to.
of, and I didn't know if you had mentioned it yet. So a part of me is like, was this really about you, a mother, or is it about you're doing this in an area that I'm not in front of a guy that I know women just swoon at. Like, and he's known for being like the pre-Drake take your girl guy.
Yeah.
You know? So in my mind, I'm like, it's not about she's a mother. So don't weaponize that because she was a mother when you had her in that cat suit and when you was reposting her dropping down in the full straddle splits and stuff. Like she was a mother then. And you supported that and promoted that. So obviously the fact that she's a mother, yes, she should. First of all, you shouldn't be, in my opinion, you shouldn't be doing that if you don't want the negative attention that brings. That's just practical logic. And then, bro, a part of him, I do agree with you. He was hurt and didn't know how to say he was hurt. But the ego is amazing because he knew that if he would have said, yo, what you did broke my heart and hurt my feelings, it would have totally exposed him. So he has to weaponize being a mother and shame her in a way that protects his ego and even uses the guise of family values. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, bruh, this whole thing was messy. She made it even more messy, but we don't know if signals was crossed beforehand. Because if I'm her and he tells her it's okay for you to dress like this with just me and you, and then I go out, I'm going to be the same me that I was before.
Yeah, and that was the point I made earlier. Yep. 100%.
It reminds me of when remember when Kanye West was caught telling Kim Kardashian she couldn't wear that outside?
Yeah.
And I'm like, this Kim Kardashian, like, what are you talking about? It's Kim Kardashian. Just, you know what I mean? So yeah, to me, it's so many things at play. So many things at play. And people talk about the loss of family values and things like that. And I'm like, yeah, I agree with all of those things. I just don't think they should have put their business on the internet. And even her afterwards, weaponizing the kid, using him as a prop in the video, selling I'm a mother shirts. Like, come on. Like, this is
playing. And also it was really, really weak and whack of him to use the whole family values thing as a weapon as well. Like it's not using it as a matter of convenience when it makes you look good. It's whack. It's whack.
Yeah, one of the things I believe is that we should never ever weaponize truth, because when we do, we inoculate people to the very truths that we're talking about.
Yeah. Great.
You know what I mean?
Great.
So
let me get Andrea, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm very here.
Right, guys, I have to take off my glasses because she's about to go in. All right, go ahead, Andrea. I'm gonna get you to you, Verns, after.
So let's go about point by point. Number one, the family values. If you want to do some family values, you should wait till you got married to have a baby. That's number one. So he was just playing games. Okay. Number two, being a mother. If you go back and look at Keke's stuff and look at how she's looking She looks like a grown woman now. What I see, she's celebrating that new body that she got after having that baby. Because if you look at her, she look like a little girl. Now she look like a grown woman. And you look at her movies and stuff, she's becoming a woman. That baby made her become a woman. And she's celebrating the body that she got. And she's loving it.
So
and I heard that her and Usher are doing a movie together. Okay, I just word on the street that said she's doing a movie with Usher. Okay, and she loves Usher too. So I pop it up as just entertainment. And I'm pretty sure she don't want more stuff with him than what she with Usher. Okay,
right,
so get over it. And when you put your business out on the internet for everybody and their mama to hear, okay, now you got everybody in your business now.
Yeah. So for the
young fella. Keep your business out the internet for everybody to be judge, jury, and execution.
So I think Keke put her business out there first, but okay. For the sake of consistency, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said that she is celebrating her body because she can celebrate her mom body without everybody, but she's doing it so that everybody else can celebrate it too, right? She's
doing it for everybody else.
Is everybody obligated to celebrate it as well? Can people be critical?
No, not everybody obligated to celebrate it, but she's showing everybody that she's celebrating it.
But so now we go back to the putting your business out there. If she wants everybody to see that she's celebrating her body, who's putting whose business out there?
She's been putting her business out there because she's always on the TikTok, the Instagram, and everything. So I'm not surprised that she was celebrating it and showing it. That didn't surprise me.
Yeah.
What surprised me was her man surprised me.
Wait, so it didn't surprise you that she was out on stage with Usher with her cheeks showing?
No, it didn't. No, that didn't even bother me. Tell you the truth, because why it didn't bother me, because I was just looking at her as a woman who come of age. She done had a baby. Her body looks good, and she celebrated. If you go back and look at her interviews, her pictures before that baby and after that baby, it's two different looks. It is two different Keke.
Okay.
And I would say that my own personal, if I felt like that, and after I had my baby, but I wasn't postpartum depression, like she didn't, and she
might be, but this is probably her using this kind of behavior as an outlet for it. I don't know for sure.
Yes, it could.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it could be.
So
if it's okay for her, it's also okay for a guy to do as well, who's in a relationship, who's also a father.
Yes, it's okay. But did he know did he know that he is he has a baby with an entertainer? He's an entertainer. He's a movie star.
I don't know if that's
known that before you even. You should have known. No, a friend of mine told me, because he deals with celebrities. They are human beings too, and just because she's a movie star, don't mean she might move the way I'm gonna move. When I'm on the I wouldn't wear what she goes to the Usher concert, but I still gonna show them. I'm gonna show my assets off at the concert. I'm not gonna lie, that's who I am. When I became a mother, and after I had kids and got my body right, I was like, I look good now. So I'm just saying, she's not doing nothing normal that another woman wouldn't do.
I can't agree with that 100%. Not all women would do that. Some women are so secure in themselves that they don't need the world to see that they got a mom body.
I don't. But why did she? Well, that's what. See, I think your mom team, because why did she have to cover up? We in 1960. She married to that brother.
Let's
to throw that family. Look, that was just out the window, because you should wait until you got married to have a baby.
I agree.
So you can't use that.
I agree.
So he can't use that. So he was playing word games on her. And you know what? And me, I would have threw a shot back at him too.
Okay, so
when she threw that shot back at him, it's a warning shot. Let you know. You ain't gonna be telling me what to do like
Andrea,
that,
right? I think there's a good question. So she switched up after having the baby. I think she, but is that?
But she didn't.
Yeah, no, and I was going to say that you mentioned that she didn't. But let's say for the sake of what Andrea said, right? So if she switched up after the baby, and prior to, and this is just for the sake of the conversation, so hear me out. And prior to that, she wasn't as out there with her body as she used to be. And when he got involved, she wasn't that way. But after she got her mom body, she became that way. Then he should not be happy about it. If anyone is switching up in a relationship after a certain variable introduced, that's not a good thing in a relationship. They weren't presenting their real self in the very beginning. So according to what you're saying, Keke wasn't being who she really was in the very beginning. Or even more dangerous, a variable was introduced and she thought it was okay to switch up because of that variable.
Well, in relationship, that's kind of it. In relationship, people change. After you have a baby, this a whole human being gonna be pushed out. So people gonna have different attitudes, different mood swings, different whatever. If you love somebody and you saying you going through something right now, baby, I'm gonna roll with you. My thing is the wrong move that he did is to put it on the internet for everybody to be judge, jury, and execution and be all up in y'all business. Now we ask the question, what does he do for a living? What? Because all my friends start asking the question, what he do for a living? Where he come from? Mm-hmm. So because you start wanting people in your business when you start putting your spouse, the entertainer. At the end of the day, Keke is an entertainer. You have to understand that first too.
Yeah.
But so you gotta know who you're dealing with.
And this is just my thing, Andrea. Like I can't give somebody an entertainer a pass because they're an entertainer.
I'm not giving her a pass. Yeah. I understand. See, there's a difference in giving her a pass and understanding what she do for a living. She's an entertainer. Yeah. She's supposed to entertain me. So if the man that she's with has to understand that, and if he got in this relationship and didn't understand that, that is his fault, not hers.
So I think what I'm going to do is CJ, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do some more research on that. I probably won't post. I may post on my community tab. So if you guys are watching this and you're not subscribe now. I'm going to do some research on the dynamics of their relationship prior and what it looked like prior to having a baby and prior to the development of her body. Then see if there was an actual shift in her behavior afterwards.
But remember, he posted her clapping cheeks.
And now that too.
After she got her baby bod, right?
All of that. Yeah. But I'm gonna consider all of that. I'm gonna have all of that into consideration because that's also important as well. Vern, what's up, sis?
Now you already know.
Hey,
chat. Hey, everybody. I want y'all to have an open mind and listen to what I say before you start judging. Just listen. Okay. First of all, Keke Palmer is an intelligent, beautiful woman. Okay. Remember, she came out as a child. She is now living her life, her best life as a woman. She is in womanhood. When you are 18, you think different than you are when you are 25. So her thinking right now is different. Some people are still looking at her as the young girl from Keke and the Bee or whatever that movie she made, right? So let's go there first. She got into this relationship. If this guy is supposed to be so much of a Christian, why did you have sex with her and get her pregnant? Listen to what I'm saying now. Why did you as a man?
I got stuff. So YouTube hit me up with demonetization or a limited monetization on our last video. So, all right, I need
our video.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Limited my monetization.
I'm sorry.
All right, so help me out, sis. All right.
I'll help you out behind the scenes. We'll figure that out.
All right, cool.
Okay, so remember now she's coming into womanhood. Let's get that right. I don't know who the guy is. I don't know anything about him, but you are supposed to be a Christian. You got her impregnated as a man. You knew you weren't married. First of all, you both should have been using protection or not having sex at all. You should have married her if you wanted her to You want to impregnate her. You want to make her a mother, but you don't want to make her your wife. Let's get that clear first, okay? So we're going to pass that. She is in Las Vegas. She is an entertainer. Usher is an artist. They're both singers. Why would she go dressed to the concert like a mom with the t-shirt all the way up to her neck and long pants? She's enjoying her life. She's living her life. She's young. I don't think that there was anything wrong with the outfit, in my opinion. Yes, her boo-boo was out. Okay, I get that. Maybe she could have wore a skirt over it, whatever. She didn't. I don't think that she was wrong. I think what happened with the guy, and this is my honest opinion, I think the guy was upset because she was fanning out over Usher. She had her mouth open when he took off his shirt when he was on the big screen. Then when he called her up, he serenaded her. I think the guy was jealous, like, oh, you loving him like that so much, but you don't do that to me. I was in a situation like that once. The guy was so upset because I was fanning out over someone else. But this person is an artist. I like this person. He's like somebody I look up to. I adore him. So now, hold on just a minute. So now I think the guy, again, may have had some jealousy. He could have took that to her behind the scenes and said, oh, wow, you were acting really fanning out like that over Usher. And she could have been, yes, he's my idol. I really adore him. I like him. I was surprised that he called me on stage and serenaded me. I was excited and happy. Real quick, she's young. So there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion.
You're right. So if entertainer is the barometer that we're going to be using in this situation, okay? Should a woman, all right, get mad at her boyfriend for going through Instagram and liking pictures of Instagram models? Because that's what they do.
I don't think so.
You don't? So you don't think that that's a bad thing?
No.
Oh, okay.
I like men's pictures, and you come on now. You know me. I am the cheerleader of YouTube. I have a lot of men on my channel. I like their videos all the time. Why would you get mad at that? Like, that's silly. I said I like a picture. What I'm supposed to say? I don't like the picture. Like, that's ridiculous. Grow up. We're adults. So why would you get mad because I like the dang picture?
So you would tell a young lady, all right, it's no big deal. They're Instagram models. He's going to like them anyway. All right, it's just entertainment. All right, leave it alone. You would tell him.
I would. I'd have a problem with that. I would have a problem with and again, everyone has different thresholds, right? Mm-hmm. I would have a problem with my guy liking certain pictures. Like if they're very suggestive pictures, if she's scantily clad and stuff, this is the IG model or whatever, I'd have a problem with that. But I would tell him, but he would know that about me, right? Mm-hmm. So, and vice versa.
Yeah. Like, so I'll, when I was single, right? On occasion, I would like female pictures on Instagram, right? But I had to come to understand I am married now. So my wife will not like me just liking random female pictures. I'm not single anymore. So I have to respect her because she may not like that. So if a man is just uneasy about his lady swooning over another man, is that really a bad thing?
I don't think so. I still fan out over Big Daddy Kane. He's supposed to be my baby daddy. I still do that, and I have a husband, and he knows this. I love Big Daddy Kane. How you gonna tell me I can't like somebody? That I adore him. Why would you get upset about that?
Well, I think it's just a matter of being a fan, appreciating their art. Swooning over is like very different. But wait, Andrea, you was about to say something. I'm sorry.
No, I love Tamar Moore, and my ex-husband knew that. When I see Tamar Moore on the camera, I was drooling. Okay, but I'm still here with this man. I was still in. This was our house. So just because I love Tamar Moore, don't mean I'm gonna be leaving my husband because I want Tamar Moore. I just love Tamar Moore. That's the difference. And I think that Tamar Moore is an entertainer. I know that. It's a separation in my mind. Exactly. So I think that if we're putting too much on it. And I still would say, if he got in a relationship with Keke, knowing that she's an entertainer, I think anybody who's in a relationship with an entertainer, they have to know, look, women gonna be over your man, women gonna be over your girl. Can you handle it? Because if you can't, you need to walk away.
Yeah.
Period.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's true.
Okay. But then you got to be okay with that. You got to be okay with that.
Yeah, be okay with that. He's an entertainer.
Again,
CP, the artist, she didn't say Shamar wanted her. She said that she likes him as so one day, and I'm gonna be honest, me and my husband was driving in New York City. You know I'm from New York.
Yeah.
We saw Heavy D. I love me some Heavy D. I literally told him, if you don't pull this car over so I could get out to go over there, he did not.
I would have
I was upset with him.
Faster. Like, nope.
He did not. I was upset with him, but I love Heavy D. He was on the street. I wanted to see him. You're going to be mad with me because of that? Like, come on. You're going to go on the internet and be like, oh, you shouldn't have been doing that. Get over it. Like, stop.
I think. Sorry, go ahead. Sir.
Okay, no, go, you first. I want to get honestly back.
I was gonna say I take some of what CP is saying. I think he or they are saying that there's a chance that Usher and Keke could get together, right?
Yeah.
Versus if I liked like Drake or whoever and we met once, and that's fine. But that there's a chance that Keke and Usher might talk and might start to like each other and whatnot. Again, I agree with the ladies. You have to be able to tolerate. You have to decide if you can date these celebrity women or not. If you can't handle it, then don't get into relationships with them. And again, like I said, Keke's not even the most out there one. Kim Kardashian, all these other ladies who are often even more suggestive and more out there, dressed more suggestively than her. Yeah. So it takes a lot. Not every guy is cut out to date a woman like that. And if you can't do it, then don't.
Yeah. Right. I want to hear from Andre. What do you think? Because Keke was on the stage serenaded by Usher, if that was your significant other, what would you think about it? Would you go on social media and make a big old whoop about it? Like,
so Andre, the boyfriend, would have let her know we're having a conversation when you get back. That conversation would have probably looked like, I know we share a child together. I think we need to consider just co-parenting so that you can have the freedom you want to live the life that you want. But that is not what I want for my wife. So
what are you more upset about?
I'm not done.
I don't like that at all.
Andre, the husband, right, would have said, you and I need to attend some extensive marriage counseling.
Oh no!
Right now.
Oh no!
I don't like that.
Oh yeah.
We're not going to count.
Oh, wait,
Can I comment?
So you're asking me a question, right? So here's the thing. Andre is looking for a wife. Okay. He's looking for the woman that women claim to be, the prize. The prize, according to the word of God, is descriptive about a woman who behaves a certain way. Proverbs 31. I'm looking for that. If she's out there on stage with her cheeks out, all right, getting serenaded by a man and allowing him to see it, she's not my wife. So,
but remember, she's an entertainer also.
You're asking Andre, but you're asking Andre the question, right?
If you were dating Keke, this is what I'm saying. If you were dating Keke and she did that, are you more upset about how she acted toward Usher, or are you more upset about the outfit? Because you can't be mad about both.
But then there's a question that you needed to ask prior to that. Would I date Keke? The answer is no.
Would you date Keke? Okay.
No.
Well then.
But you're asking me. So I have to answer it in a way that there's a switch up. Like, this isn't who the person I thought she was. That's how I have to answer it. Because truth be told, if she was putting herself out there on social media that way, I would never look at her. Not like a wife. Not at all. Not like somebody I'm pursuing to see if we're compatible for marriage. I would never. But if we are in a relationship, it's because I saw certain traits that I appreciate in her that makes her a good wife, right? But if she does that after me thinking that me believing I'm pursuing her in order for her to be my wife, and she does that, at that point, I now have information that allows me to make a good, sound decision. We cannot be married because we're not compatible.
I think that's a little extreme, to be honest, because look, my ex-husband told me he loved Neil Long, and I didn't feel no pressure or no ink, just because was his crush.
Did he let Neil Long see his goods?
What you say?
Did he let Neil Long see his goods in public?
What goods? A booty?
No, first off, you guys can say what you want about the cheeks. Cheeks are goods for men. That is an organ or a body part that's extremely attractive to a man's sexual nature. You guys can say whatever you want about, oh, it's only cheeks. It's not only cheeks to men. It's not. So you guys can believe that, but there's two dynamics here. If women, you gotta let me finish. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
So you can say to yourself, it's only cheeks. Everybody has one. To a man, though, okay, to a man, that's an attractive sexual organ, or it's a part of a woman's body. Okay, so it's not. It may be different, but you need to understand that and respect the differences as well. So again, if a man shows an organ that's meant to attract a woman sexually, all right, okay, is that okay? It's not. It's not.
Well, us just take his shirts off, and women are screaming and hollering. So if he gets
I'm not saying that's okay either.
Okay, but so I say this: if Keke's boyfriend is okay for her wearing a cat suit and dropping it low and blah blah blah, and encourage her to do that, then when she getting begged with her girl and he have a problem, you can't have you can't have it both ways.
But you asked me the question though. We already talked about that. You asked me what would I do.
But I'm just saying he can't have it both ways. He can't pick and choose where he wants her to dress and then not to dress.
But that you won't get an argument with me there. You told me that I would be going too far if I would break up with her. That's what we're talking about right now.
And can I say?
Yeah.
I do think he's going too far.
Oh wait. Honestly wanted to say something before we started this. Honestly, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah,
I don't think it's too far. I think everybody has standards.
Yeah.
And there are certain things that when you're in a relationship, I would hope you would have certain conversations before you even got to the point when you had a child. And I did a bit of a deep dive on the dynamics of their relationship. And I think that from the beginning, there were signs that they were both trying to make it work, but being in the public eye put a strain on things, him being an aspiring actor. And there's a level of emotional fortitude and mental toughness that you need to have in order to be in the limelight. And for a guy to come into that particular sphere and doesn't have that, it's going to be a lot on him. And so I don't have a problem, with them dating or anything like that. My issue is, one, these are humans. So I try to remember that they're humans. Like, we can critique them because they're celebrities and they put themselves out there for us to look at. But I try to remember their humanity in the same way I would want somebody to remember mine. I was young and dumb before. And I'm saying that.
I don't believe that. Like, you mad smart. When were you ever young and dumb?
Man, listen, if I'm so grateful that the internet did not exist when I was doing the dirt that I was doing, I would be.
I agree because Andre before Christ was doing some things. I agree.
Yeah, anyway. Thank you, Jesus. Nothing but the blood. But so one of the things that comes to my mind is how to me what they're doing is young and dumb. Both of them. I think she has the freedom to do whatever she wants to do, and so does he. But freedom does not mean that you have the right or the entitlement to do X, Y, and Z. We conflate abilities with rights all the time. Just because I have the ability to do something doesn't mean that I should do something. And I think that when she and him are in a relationship, they both did things that were extremely immature, and unfortunately for their child, it is not a good look.
I have a question for Andre. What do you think Darius was more upset about? Her going to Vegas with the girls, her wearing that outfit, or her swooning over Usher? Because something's not right here. Something is amiss, in my opinion.
Mhm. So let me put myself in an insecure, jealous.
No. I'm just asking you as a man. What do you think Darius was more upset about? Which one?
I'm trying to answer it. Okay. Because you mentioned three things, right? The outfit, the swooning, and what was the other thing?
Or hanging out with the girls in Vegas.
Well, I don't think he was mad about hanging out with the girls in Vegas because she was there hanging out with the girls prior to the concert. So he didn't post anything about, yo, you out there with the girls, you a mom though. So I'm going to dismiss that right away. So nothing was ever said about her being out there with the girls. So I'm going to dismiss that if that's okay. But if I was him watching that video, I would probably, because he responded to the video, right? I would have watched the serenading, right? And I would have been slightly annoyed with the serenading. I would have been like, if I'm jealous and insecure, I would have been looking at it like, yeah, why she doing this on the internet? But then when she turned around, I think that's when he got infuriated. That's when he realized, yo, her cheeks are out. And I think that's when he was the most angry at that point.
They're out because she's a mom, or her cheeks are out because she's a woman and she's up there with a man?
So in his response, and I'll bring it up, he says his first initial reply was, "It's the outfit though. You're a mom." So his reply is, you're a mom. You shouldn't be wearing that. Now, again, I said this before. I don't think he's in the place to state this because he's put her booty out there, be it covered, on the internet for other people to see. So I think him posting this is inconsistent and hypocrisy. I said that, and I'm going to stand by that. So, but you asked me what I thought he was the most angry about. And I think he was most angry when she turned around and saw that her cheeks were out in front of Usher. Yeah.
And for me, when I saw the outfit, from the front, I thought it was great. I was like, okay, that's a nice outfit. And then for me, when she did turn around, I was like, whoo, that's a lot. But again, that's for me. Every woman has a different threshold, right? So
yeah.
We don't know what happened. Maybe they had a fight before she left. Maybe it was a revenge outfit, or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just an outfit that she liked and felt good in, right? So we don't know. It was
a revenge outfit. She got it.
No, and I don't want to put that on her because I don't know what the actual situation is. We don't know the background of what happened. We don't know if he was upset about her going to Vegas or not. We don't know. Mm-hmm. The main thing, and I feel like he could feel however he wants to feel. There is a question about insecurity or not, but again, I feel like we don't know if he's technically insecure unless we know more details of what happened. My thing is, and I think everyone agrees, the way he handled it was wrong. Facts. In my opinion, I've seen some of the guys arguing in the chat that it was right the way he handled it, and that is one thing that I will say it was not right. He shouldn't have gone online to address it that way.
Yeah, in Philly we have certain slang where I'm from in Philly, and
John
John is like the best one, but there's one word in Philly we say drawing.
Okay.
Right. So someone, like if we're somewhere and you're like loud, somebody would say, "Come on, man, you drawing." And drawing, the etymology of drawing means you're drawing too much attention to this thing. It could be positive attention, it could be negative attention. Like for instance, when your kids get a certain age and you like go to kiss them and they push you off, like a Philly kid may say, "Come on, man, you drawing." Like you like, no, I don't. You bringing too much attention. You're drawing too much attention. To me, she was drawn and he was drawn.
Facts.
Her dress was drawn and she wanted it to draw. To me, that is a dress meant to draw. It's literally sheer so that you can see through it. Mm-hmm. So it was meant to draw.
Mm-hmm.
And because it drew, he drew.
Mhm.
He went and started drawing all in the comment section ridiculousness. So in my opinion,
Mhm.
she that night, her outfit and the attention, I don't think you can separate the two, because the outfit is the thing that drew the attention.
Yeah.
So the outfit and the attention was what caused him to respond to me in a way that seemed very, what's the word? Beta, you know what I mean?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it really does come down to, what are your standards in a relationship, and where do we get our standards from?
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's it. And again, I said this to you, Dre, before in conversations. I believe that many of us as women saw historically, I don't think we saw the benefit of being that quote unquote good woman, and begin to adapt the what we labeled as toxic traits of masculinity, and did all of that in the name of women empowerment. And now what we want a lot of times can be contradictive. We want to be a respectable, like, twerker, when by definition or by example, that's not how society works.
Can I ask you, do
Yes.
you think that the average woman or most regular women would wear anything kind of close to what Keke wore?
So what's funny?
Mm-hmm.
So the outfit she wore,
Mm-hmm.
a classmate of mine wore the same outfit on the prom.
Oh, no.
But hers was red and had a Versace dog collar on it, and the pants to it, I mean, the bottom part of it was a thong. So I say to you, yeah, I went to, my school was very, 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 very different. Let me just
In Philly,
start
right?
off by saying, like, I went to a school that was like, people, and I'm not exaggerating, anyone from Philadelphia knows about Overbrook in the 90s. It's the same school Will Smith went to. People came to the school for the let out. Like, I remember being in class, and I'm a ninth grade freshman, and a car alarm goes off, and a girl stands up and says, "Excuse me," interrupts the class, walks to the window of the class, pulls out these keys. They had a Beamer. She just just hit the, like, it was her car. Like, so my school was a little bit, and it was black. We black kids like this. So I say that to say, it depends on, I agree, it depends on your lifestyle and things like that. But at the end of the day, what's your standard? What are your standards? And right now, what we see is kind of like embarrassing to me. He responded, and then she kind of doubled down, and it seemed like they're both responding from their ego now. And that's not cool. And again, I'm just thinking about the kid. I'm thinking about the kid.
And I don't think someone said that they think that they're not compatible. And, that may be the case. I don't think it's too late. I think he may have thought he could handle the, her career and whatnot. And, it was to a certain extent before. And now he's like, whoa, she's going to be going out there with her cheeks out and stuff. I don't know about that. And they can talk about it. But that was the whole problem with going out and blasting it out online. Everyone gets in with their opinions. Now you forced her to have to kind of do some, give a response in some way in the public eye, whether it's to unfollow you or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's her response, right? Her response wasn't direct. Like, her response trolled him, which made him look even worse. But here's the thing about, like, understanding what you want in a relationship, right? When you get older and you learn certain things and you come into yourself, you know what you're not going to be able to deal with, right? I'll give an example for me, right? When I was in the dating stages, and please, if you are any of these occupations, please don't get offended. There are a couple of occupations I would never date. Okay. I would consider an entertainer, but I never thought that I would be dating an entertainer. So it never came across my mind. But it was a police officer, a woman who was in the fire department, a woman who was in corrections, a woman who was an ambulance driver, right? And a woman who was a nurse in a hospital.
Interesting. Do you want to say why?
Yeah, because of fraternization in all those jobs.
Oh, okay.
Because in entertainment, there's fraternization. I gotta, so if I'm dating an entertainer, I probably would have to understand that they may be in a movie role and have a kissing scene, and I got to be okay with it. I'm good. I know I'm not okay with that, so I'm not even going to even think about that. And with the fraternization that happens, not with everybody, but knowing that it does happen in those occupations, very like for instance, an ambulance driver, right, could be a beautiful, gorgeous, woman, could be in a car, right, in an ambulance for a couple of hours with a guy who's like 300 pounds, not that handsome, clean, but not that handsome, right? And one thing I know for sure is that time and proximity tends to make people very attractive over a period of time. So you're too close with somebody for a long period of time, they start looking cute. They start developing bear goggles, or they start becoming attractive to who they are. Okay.
Right.
And it's the same way with, nurses in hospitals and corrections. So that's why for me, I would not have considered anybody in those occupations, but I know that about me. So I'm not going to engage in conversations or pursuing somebody once I find out that they are in those occupations. But him being a young man, he has no clue of what's involved with dating an entertainer. So I'll bite on this because I said before, I don't think being an entertainer is a pass, but I'll bite for this specific reason. Understanding that people in entertainment, and especially in today's day, there's a lot of that happening. Okay. And it may not necessarily lead to engaging in intercourse, but there's a lot of flirting, a lot of mixing, a lot of all that stuff happening. But I also understand that enough of that happening with the same person for a long period of time, mixed with some alcohol, could tend to lead to some things that they may not have intended to happen. Like, I don't believe, for the most part, that a husband and wife goes into a job, or a wife will go into a job and have a partner at that job that they have to work with, and their intention is to go and cheat. However, with time and proximity, it becomes a lot easier for things like that to happen. So that's why, for me,
I mean, honestly, if your wife is a stay-at-home mom and she goes to a regular grocery store and there's a guy who regularly helps her out there, they could form a very close bond. Like it could happen anywhere. So I think that the main thing is that you have to date, or you have to be with someone with integrity. And you guys just both have to have that standard, as H was saying. You just kind of just have to have a standard for your relationship and for yourself. And live according to that. Honestly, it's almost like the woman can't go anywhere because no disrespect to what you were saying, but I'm just saying, when you have that sorry, go ahead. Yeah,
I hear what you're saying, but that was just my preference.
I understand. I'm just saying that, at some point you do have to just trust, and that trust is a risk. It's a risk, but it comes in the relationship that you've built with someone and knowing what your and their standards are, right? So in Darius's case here, I think he's gonna have to figure out what he can tolerate in terms of Keke's professional life and how she presents herself. Again, he has every right to feel how he feels about what she wears and what she does, but then she has every right to determine whether that's compatible with her or not.
Agreed.
And it's a shame that it's happening now, but it's not too late. They can negotiate this if the relationship is serious, right? So, but yeah, it's not every guy that can date an entertainer like this.
True.
So.
CP the artist, what's going on, bro?
That's it.
Uh-oh.
Hello, everybody. Uh-oh. Well, I said uh-oh.
Hi, CP.
Hey, love. All right, let's get into it. There is nothing he could do because he found her the way she was. Now let's
Mhm.
all right. I'm not placing any blame on any particular person. This was a mess from the start. Okay. Number one, as you guys said, you shouldn't have tweeted it. You should have had that conversation
Facts.
privately. But because when he made it publicly, it became an issue. Number one. Number two, he should know, and this is my rule for many men. Know whom you are going to impregnate. If you're not going to put a ring on it first, do not
Which you should.
impregnate her. Right.
Yeah.
You should. Which you should. I'm just saying. If you're not going to put a ring on it first, if you feel like you can't put a ring on it first, do not get her pregnant, because that is your clear sign that she's a woman, that she's going to do what she wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you live with those consequences. Now, everything that everybody said, but I just don't like the double standards that that he doesn't have the right to say anything. If they're in a relationship that we don't know about, whatever, hey, he was good enough to get her pregnant. So how is it that all of a sudden he's not good enough to tell her how he feels? It's like this double standard. Oh, he doesn't make that much money, and he can't say anything. But
you know what I think it was though for a lot of people, it's the fact that he posted things accentuate her body
exactly
on his Instagram account, but then now when she does it on her own, it sounds like he has a little bit of saltiness about it.
So
I could explain that. Right? Yeah. I could explain that. You see, when you're in new relationship, he hit the lottery. You're gonna show off the new Lamborghini you got until those criminals start stalking around your neighborhood, looking at that Lamborghini, and they want to rob it. Now you start getting a little tight. Now you want to protect that Lamborghini with some security, right? You see what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, he did that in the beginning, but that was the beginning. So it was puppy love until you start to realize. I was like, oh man, she's bad. Other men are looking at her, and so forth and so on. She's a target. She's like whatever.
Can I say so? CP, that's why I don't like the idea of insinuating that she was not good enough to marry, right? Because it's not like she's this woman that he never knew. He was like we're saying now. He was posting videos of her clapping cheeks after she had the baby, because he too liked it seemed that he liked more of her curves and stuff. So now I don't like everything being put on her in that she was this.
I'm not putting on her. Listen to what I'm saying. Well, let me explain it this way, okay? And people won't agree with this, but look at every option, all right? Women are the gatekeepers of sex. Men are the gatekeepers of relationship. So if he didn't want to bring her to the relationship level, the highest relationship level, which was marriage, but he got her pregnant, that only means that he was thinking with sexual intentions, because look, a lot of relationships nowadays are based off of sexual intentions. So when I say if she was not good enough to marry, don't get her pregnant, because men know that is the type of woman I want to spend the rest of my life with. But there's some men that also say, well, let me get her pregnant to lock her down, that she'll always be mine, that it'll be harder for her to leave me and go to another relationship, because now we have this tie called a baby. So like,
Hello?
Yeah. CP, you still there? CP?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, I think he got
cut off.
Yeah, I think it might be his internet or something, because his the wavelengths, you know, those bars.
Yeah, it was going low.
Screen, they're gone.
I got you. Okay.
But his can I comment on what he said? I don't think I don't like the comparison of women to objects, like, you know, like cars, anything that's an asset, a liability, and all that, because it's literally dehumanizing, and I don't like it when people do it to men either. I hate it when people do it to men. It reminds me of like slavery. So I don't like it. I get the comparisons, but I don't like it. And I had a question for him. Oh, he's back.
He's back.
He's back. I had a question for you.
All right, sorry, I missed. Okay.
CP, are you saying, just as a point of clarification, are you saying that men believe that most women want relationships and women believe that most men want sex? Or are you saying that most women want relationships and most men want sex, and so that's how the two like bargain or haggle?
What I'm saying is, in human dynamics and how it works, right? Men need your permission to procreate.
Wait.
To procreate.
You need our permission, but you need our permission to be in a relationship.
He's going in and out
Yeah,
again.
so he's saying that men would need a woman's permission to engage in sexual intercourse.
So I understand that. So my point is, women don't need men's permission to procreate.
I think he's talking about.
No.
CP, you're sounding. Your mic is You're sounding.
It's not his mic. It's his connection. It's his internet. I'm looking at the bars as they're going up and down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think it's wherever he is.
All right, hold on. Could you hear me now?
It sounds better.
Yeah.
All right, I'm staying in one spot.
This is what I don't understand. So you're saying that women control access to sex? Are you saying that men, like this is my question to you. Are you saying that men have no self-control? And
no, you're putting words in my mouth.
No, I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm literally asking you. I said, are you saying that?
No, but when you say, no, hold on. But when you say what you just said, that's putting words in my mouth. I clearly just said, you give access to sex with your permission. We give access to a relationship with our permission.
Right.
You cannot marry me unless I say this is where because men lead the status of a relationship, like marriage. Okay, we get down on one knee and you take our last name.
Okay, great. So why is it that men don't also give access to sex?
You don't have to. We don't have to, because you could, like, we're going to always say, well, not always, but most of the time.
I know where you're going, sis. She's going because men can't practice self-control.
What I'm saying is your statement seemed to me to imply that if you're saying that women control sex, I'm saying, no, we don't. Y'all do too.
Well, time out. Even if you say what you're just saying, right? You still are giving access.
Yeah. So
you are whether it's a free lunch, whether it's you go to the club and the line is opened up for you, whatever, you give the access. Whether you're knocking on my door, you send me a text or whatever, you still give the access. I cannot by any means take that access from you.
And I can't take your access. I agree. I can't.
Exactly.
I think just to broaden the perspective, right? When we look at married couples, okay? Oh, Andrea left, and she was in the back for a minute. When we look at married couples, right? Generally speaking, husbands are willing and able to go at the drop of a dime. Okay. And the husband, in most cases, needs to get permission through even nonverbal ways to engage in that kind of intimacy with his wife. The wife can tell her husband, "Hey, babe, I'm in the mood," and he's going for it. he's all right. Let's do this. I'm ready. But if a husband says, "I'm in the mood," and she says, I'm not," he's going to be like, "Well, okay, I'm just not getting any tonight." So I think we look at it from a broader perspective, right? The dynamics of how men respond to intimacy and how women respond to intimacy, it's different. So I think CP's point is that. CP's point is trying to just state, for the most part, men, I agree, needs to practice self-control if they're not married. Right. Even when they are married, they need to practice self-control. But because of the nature of men, because they're always willing to go, they need to ask for permission or get consent from her for it to happen, because men are always willing and ready to go.
Right. So my point is this: when I brought that up, she got a baby by a lame, and he, as a baby mama, that's going to do whatever she wants. That's the crux of the matter. You see, you have to take care of the relationship first, the boundaries and all the hard stuff of a relationship first, before you even get into this situation where you get to embarrass yourself or whatever, and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? On the internet for public fodder, right? You know, it's like what RJ was talking about. There's certain, women that he didn't want to date before he was married, in certain occupations. So it's like if I, married a woman in the X industry, right, and I'm going to get what I deserve. Look at Adam 22 and his situation. They're getting, both of them are getting what they want based off of the type of people that they are dealing with. It's like and I'll land the plane on this. It's like this therapist said once, right? If you see a donkey urinating in the street, right, you do not get mad at the donkey for doing that. That's what's in the donkey's nature. So my point is, if it was in her nature to wear what she was going to wear, and he was going to do, and he can't get mad at that. He can't get mad at that, because that's the person that you chose. And if he's insecure about the way she dresses and everything like that, well, that's the one that you chose to have a life together, a baby together. So they both have fault. Buyer beware is my only point.
Buyer beware. Look at the fine print. All right, look at the fine print. Honestly, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What I was trying to say was, I agree that men have specific desires that make them more ready and willing to go. But I don't want the conflation of a desire and for that to be in a man's natural, a natural desire to be an excuse for a woman to feel like she has control over him. In my mind, I'm like, no, brothers, you have control over you, because there are plenty of men who are single, who are Christian, and are called to have a godly sexual ethic. And if those men are called to do that, it doesn't mean that it's impossible, because everybody is single until they're not. So my point is, the more we look at it like, because I have this overwhelming desire, she has all of this control, or the more the women look at it like, well, he knows that I'm thirsty for a marriage and for kids, so he has all the control. We actually lose control that way. That's what I'm like. I hear you, and I agree with you about the desire and the makeup and how women are desired a particular way, and that wasn't a straw man. I'm saying that you have power, brothers. Men are not taught this. This comes to a conversation that I was actually having with you before. Yeah. Men are not taught to value their bodies. Mm-hmm. They're not. They're not taught to value their bodies. And it's because of these urges, and people use these urges as an excuse to give in to a base nature of hedonism. And I'm like, brother, you are more than that. Mm. Don't let her control you like that. And the same thing with the sisters. Mm-hmm. Like, that's where my heart is coming from. It's not a straw man argument. I'm not trying to, catch anybody up or anything like that. I'm like, no, hold on. She'll hold all them keys.
I mean, I agree with you. And I was not insinuating that all men have this. All I'm just saying is that by nature of who controls what, that's how, in my view, that's what it is. Like, I have self-control, but that had to be developed over years of realizing that, you know what, I'm not like XYZ other dudes over here who they have no standards and they're just conquesting women, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna lie, this is a family show. I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna say, but it does get weak.
Well, CP, my question was, I understand. I mean, we've heard that before. It's like that trope that a guy could walk into a bar and say, "Hey, free sex. Does anyone want sex?" And he'd get no responses. But if a woman did the same, every guy in the bar or most guys would be ready, would offer. Yeah. But what I didn't understand was kind of how it fit into the Keke and Darius situation.
I was just saying that they both have a responsibility to play in the situation that they're in with each other. Mm-hmm. She found himself an insecure man and had a baby with him, and he found a woman that wanted to be free.
Yeah.
And people brought up, "Oh, that's not his wife. That he doesn't have no say." And my point was in the beginning was that, if he did not marry her, right? If he did not marry her but had a child by her, that is just a definition of that's a clear sign that he doesn't want her, because there's men who will take the sex, but they won't take the marriage. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of childless dads out here because men, they wanted to take the sex, but they didn't want the relationship, they didn't want to fulfill maybe a woman's desire to be and that's not a desire for all women, but a desire to have a family, be married, and so forth and so on. It just took the opportunity to lock her down with a baby and so forth and so on. So I'm just saying both of them are culpable in this situation. They both got into it. So he can't say to her, "Oh, she's a mother." But dude, you picked her. You made her a mother.
Yeah.
You should have known that. As a man, you are supposed to know what type of woman that she is, or I don't want to say that in a bad way, but if you know that she's a free spirit person and you could predict her doing this in the future or so forth and so on, then you're gonna be like, you know what? That's not for me. Just like what Andre said earlier to the lovely young ladies. You know what I'm saying? If it's not, hey, go on with your way. I'm going to go on with mine. Because men, we can't get into this, we got to control her and X, Y, Z. But what we can do and what we should do is walk away before we, get anything wrong.
Again, so I ascribe to the whole men should not have to be in relationships with women that they need to handle. And I tell men to run from that. Like if a woman expects to be handled a certain way, run. Okay. But what CP said was it. Like men need to know exactly what they want, the type of woman they want, and be mature enough to say, okay, this isn't going to be the space that I am going to be happy in. So I'm grown enough to walk away from the situation. Unfortunately, there's a child involved.
Yeah.
But they can peacefully co-parent if that's going to be the outcome. And if they are looking to find somebody to speak to help them on their co-parenting journey, guys, go to coachingbydre.com. Shameless plug. All right. But yeah.
So I'm going to drop down in a second, but I wanted to say, CP is still here. Yeah.
Yeah.
CP, you mentioned Adam 22, and it just again goes to show how every couple has a different threshold. Every person has a different threshold for what they think is appropriate for their relationship and what isn't. Now, someone like him, he probably would have no problem with what Keke wore. But you see now in his situation, he's having to find what his boundaries are. They're much further outside of what anything that I would ever co-sign.
Yeah.
But, you know?
And that's the thing, boundaries, right? Boundaries, we all have them. And before you get into a serious relationship with somebody, you should know what each other's boundaries are. Mm-hmm. If wearing that dress was a boundary breaker for Keke's man, then she should be like, all right, you know what, this is going to upset him. I don't want to whatever. Or if making a tweet in public, like what he did, like a fool, was a boundary breaker for her, and he shouldn't have done that. But the thing is that we get to all the goody parts first, but the hard parts, we worry about that later and wonder why relationships get all messed up. And in 22 situation, that started way before he allowed this.
That one is a whole mess.
Yeah, this was going on for 7 years, in my opinion. You do not put your wife, the mother of your child, on Front Street, even if it's with you. Yeah. But because you're showing every man is good, and you're making enough money. You're making enough money for both of y'all. How about protecting your woman? How about saying, yo, you know what? You grew up, you wanted to be XYZ. Do that. Go ahead. Do that. I'll support you. I'll give you a little money, this and that.
But CP, I think this is what she wanted. So it's a matter of whether they are compatible in that way. And they are. Now, the limits that he's trying to find out is who they have certain interactions with and what he's comfortable with. But the kinds of things that they do, he seems fine with that. Or they were both in that area, if you catch my drift, together, right? So
I think the other young lady mentioned about male depravity and male self-control. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, there are certain men, it's a small minority of men, but there are certain men who have a deprived mind, a regenerate mind, right? And not one person could satisfy. And there's women like that also. Mm-hmm. So the stuff the lifestyle that they have been engaging with for decades now, right? Mm-hmm. There's always another level that they feel like, oh, I have to go. Oh, this activity over here, we tried that. That's boring. Like this is in front of the world is a plateau that they feel like, oh, this is going to add spice and money to it. Well, what eventually will happen is that they're going to be like, well, what else could we do? Mm-hmm. We can't do anything else. Let's break up.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to add to your point before about the vetting process. I say all the time on this channel that vetting is extremely important. The situation with Keke and Darius is that I think they started dating in 2021. I think he was like her personal trainer or something to that effect. So they only been together 2 years about. And out of that 2 years, actually in the very beginning, not even a year, she had to have gotten pregnant. Mm-hmm. So they didn't spend a decent amount of time getting to know each other at all.
Nope.
They don't know each other. Yeah, go ahead. What are you saying?
And the money dynamic I think that makes a thing too. She's the breadwinner.
Yeah.
You know, they're clowning him over that, and you know, he's like, oh, I think I hit the gold mine.
Mm-hmm.
So that was probably always a problem. She probably thought, oh, you know, he's a cool guy. Da 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 da. I don't think she's all the way there. I don't think both of them are all the way there, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
And two people that aren't all the way there, it's just bound to have a breakup because they don't have any boundaries. They ain't listen to common sense. They're just going with the flow, feelings, all this other stuff. And it's, you know, and he's trying to puff his chest out to be the man. Nah, bro,
and that's the
too late for that.
Keke has talked about boundaries as a celebrity, right? There are clips of him asking her, what if I forget which celebrity it was. Basically, what if someone came out of the blue and said, hey, to Keke, hey, me and Darius have had something going on in the you know, going on in the background, blah, 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 blah. Would you talk to her or something like that? And Keke said, no, that's between me and you. It's not between me, us and the world. It's not between me and the girl. It's between me and you. So whatever's going on in our relationship, we will discuss it. Mm-hmm. That is the attitude that he should have taken in this situation, right? The biggest blunder was going online. It just puts pressure on all around. We all have opinions now without knowing the full story. Keke has certain pressures on her now. Some women are going to be looking at her sideways if she doesn't leave him, you know. So it's just not a good way to approach it. And then everyone's going to start calling him a dusty or whatever, and I don't agree. No matter how, you know, whatever the financial differences are between them, no matter that they're not married, they are together in a relationship, which requires mutual respect. Mm-hmm. And that is how they should approach it. So that's kind of my take on that. So
agreed.
Yeah, I think that I agree with what you said. I think that as it pertains to their relationship, I seen, you know, someone, I don't know who it was, that put in the comments like, was she like this before then? And to the previous speaker's point, she had mentioned having issues with self-esteem and issues with her overall identity. And even if you listen to her music was still racy. Some of her music was like she went through that Disney transition, and you know what happens when they go through from the Disney to the I'm grown. They do some wild stuff to try to prove that I'm not a kid anymore. You know.
Can I be honest? I didn't even know she sings. I'm so far removed from entertainment. I didn't even know she sang. I know she was on Good Morning America. I think that was, but that was it.
So she had her own show on Disney. She was a child celebrity. She went through a lot, and she spoke about how because she went through a lot, she even had this incident with like another celebrity supposed to go over for a video, and she was in this closet, and she was trying to tell him like I don't give consent, and it was wild. And I'm not going to mention celebrity's name or anything for monetization.
I remember that.
Right.
I remember
that's what
that.
I'm saying she
starts
had
with
a
a T.
lot going on, and she's barely 29.
Yep.
She's barely 29. So that
it's
means
public.
that
It's public. We could say it. The Trey songs.
Right. Who also got in trouble with those young basketball player girls, right? So it's a lot. It's a lot going on in people's past, right? Mm-hmm. So you bring all of that. You bring in her who is in proximity to these celebrities, but these celebrities don't see her as an attractive person. They don't. They talked about her body to the point that she began to be self-conscious about it or whatever, right? And then she started being very honest. I never forget. I saw this one thing that she had posted on Instagram when I first got on Instagram, and it was her. She said, listen, I need for you all as my fans to stop asking me to do X, Y, and Z, because I'm in therapy now and I'm learning that I am a people pleaser. And although you do these particular things for me and you may mean well, I don't receive these things like a regularly, healthily adjusted person. So I'm going to cut my comments off for a while. So that way these things don't affect me. And I thought that was hands down one of the most mature things that I've heard her say. And she was like, if I lose fans, I lose fans. And you could tell she was scared. But that's when the internet like doubled down on her, like, you know, and started bigging her up even more. And I'm like, God, she just asked y'all creating a monster. So fast forward.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about. Oh, sorry. Finish.
Oh, so fast forward. She gets with this young man, and again, they're 29, 28. Their prefrontal cortex is just developed. Like they're like literally just becoming adults. And it's a lot that goes into that. So when I look at this, I'm like, oh man, it's a shame that they are growing up in front of a fishbowl, because I've seen so many families have similar discussions as this. Like the dude don't like what the girl wore to the picnic, and all of a sudden it's a big blowout at the family cookout, and he's like, you know, you shouldn't have worn. To me, that's what that was.
Exactly.
To me, that's what that was. So for as I'm looking at it, I'm trying to put it in its proper context, but because we live in the day and age of the internet, everything seems bigger than what it is. And the internet isn't really a real place. So for me, I'm just trying to take it in stride. I think they both are young and can be foolish and idiotic at times, and they're still working stuff out, which is why I'm like, man, my focus is the kid. Like,
And that's why I want to give them both the benefit of the doubt. I don't think it's too late. If they have a good foundation to their relationship, they can just take a step back, talk through things, and go forward. I think there's still hope if it's a good, solid relationship, right? But certainly I would be telling him, look, do not go to the internet. If we have any issues, talk to me. Don't do that. I think that's very important. Keke has said something that is something that she takes to heart for how she approaches her relationships as a celebrity, which is the way it should be done, right?
Yeah.
So
who knows? I don't know. Maybe you're right. Who knows? But I don't blame the internet, because here's the thing: the internet is going to internet. I mean, look, we're on social media. There's going to be somebody in the negative comments in our section, I'm a content creator. They're going to be able to, hate on me, whatever. It comes with the territory. And anytime you try to buckle down, the internet will buckle up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they will come harder. They will come harder. So I think the thing is that I kind of look at the situation like they really don't know each other. I think what Andre was saying earlier. Been together 2 years and had the debate. That's a lot.
Yeah.
She has a career. He's trying to. We don't even know what he does. You know what I'm saying? He's like Tommy from Martin. We don't know what he do for real.
A personal trainer. I think that's how they met.
Yeah, he's a personal trainer. Yeah.
Okay, he still doesn't make enough money that she does.
Yeah. So can I respond to that? So I knew about him years before because he's from Philly. I'm from Philly, he used to have a sports commentator channel on YouTube, and he would watch the games that give play-by-plays on most Philly sports. That's how I found out about him. Being a trainer, they met at a Diddy party when his brother is a celebrity that played. I know too much about this, y'all. I told you I did a little. Like his brother is a celebrity that played on Insecure. He was the light-skinned dude that was like Yvonne Orji's best friend that she got into this ridiculous open relation throuple with. Boom. That's her brother. The tall guy. Yes, that's his biological brother. So Diddy threw a party and invited Issa Rae, and she asked if she can invite everybody from that was on her set that day. Keke Palmer happened to be there because she was on Insecure at that particular time. So that's literally how they met. And yes, he was training, but what happened was she saw him and didn't recognize him from the typical circles and was like, he's cute. And when she went to talk to him, he kind of like stuttered over his words. And she was like, I like him because he's cute. And he don't know that he cute. Like he didn't get that quote unquote glow up cute yet. She didn't say that, but that's what I realized. And I think she saw herself in that. Like, oh, this is somebody that's not been tainted by this industry. And I think she liked that and responded to that. So yeah, go ahead, CP. Sorry for cutting you off. I just want to get that.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. I learned a lot right there.
Yeah. I gotta end soon. Been on this now for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. No, 2.5 hours. Guys,
this is when it gets spicy. Yeah, this is what content creation is.
Yeah.
Hopefully you keep your demonetization right now.
Yeah, I think so. I gotta check. I gotta check, man, because this is it's heavy. No, I think this is a dope conversation. I think, and I also appreciate the different viewpoints. People, we all have our opinions, and it's nice when we're able to come chop it up, disagree, agree on some points, and I like how we can talk and agree on specific points, but be able to disagree on other points as well. Instead
hit that mute button, man. I need you to get a little Kevin Samuels on people, man. You and me.
No. My girl Andrea is. We have a dope friendship, and she's going to come at me, and we disagree on a lot of things, but yeah, she gives me life because she allows me to think deeply about what I believe.
She had you on your ropes, though.
Yeah, no, she's
yeah. I was like, tap out, throw in the towel.
Yeah, Andrea be on it. She be on it. But I do appreciate you guys adding to the conversation. The reason why I wanted to talk about this was to talk about the inconsistency that exists on his part, and actually the dress that she wore as well, because that's what everybody is talking about. But at the end of the day, I think we have to be. I think we all can agree to this. And men, I'm gonna close it out with me talking to you. If you're ever in a similar situation, stay off of social media with your responses. Respond directly and have an in-person conversation about it. Have an honest conversation about it. And see where it goes from there. And also understand what you're able to tolerate, because that's important. And a lot of the work needs to be done prior to help you avoid things like this, like vetting the young lady properly. If your values don't align, don't pursue her, because then you're going to find yourself in a couple of situations, especially if she's making more money. You're going to be enabling her behavior, like posting stuff on your Instagram of her twerking. And then get mad when she is showing her goods publicly on stage, being sung by an artist who a lot of women tend to like. And then responding directly to that. Don't put yourself in a position to be in that place. Instead, vet properly. Know how to vet. Okay. And I think, honestly, I thank you for adding some context to how they met, because that's also important. If he was,
I gotta ask you a question.
Yeah.
Question. What about if you're in a relationship, married, in a relationship?
Oh, that's different.
Like Russell Wilson. What do you do?
Now, again, you're asking what I would do if I was Russell Wilson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're going to marriage counseling. And if she doesn't stop, there's going to be a separation. We're not going to be living in the same house. You're not going to be under my umbrella doing that. You're not going to expect me to be the protective provider, and you're purposely putting yourself outside of my protection. Then we got to separate and go through marriage counseling.
But for me, for Russell, and who knows, in the future we might hear differently about how he actually felt about certain things. But I've seen so many varied presentations of the two of them together, from very, conservative dress in a very loving, it seems, loving relationship with where she speaks about respecting him, and there's mutual respect. And maybe they've had these conversations, and maybe he just feels comfortable with how the different aspects of her and how she presents herself. So, maybe he's fine with it. It seems, apparently, you know what I mean? So,
if I could add this perspective, though, okay? Yeah. Couples goals, right? That was a thing a while back, right? Even men could see a beautiful woman right, on the arms of a successful man, excuse me, and can say to himself, man, I would love to be in a relationship like that one day. Okay. A woman would see that same relationship and would say, I wish I could be in a relationship like that one day. But if a man is in a relationship or married with a woman who puts her body all out there like that, right? A woman's going to look at that and say, oh, I wish I could have a supportive husband like that one day. But a man is not going to look at that and say, oh, I wish I could have a woman to dress naked next to me one day. It's just not going to happen.
That's another hour conversation,
Yeah,
because in my opinion, there is a type that will accept a woman that's half naked, and that's a simp. And there's a lot of out there. Trust me. A lot of my exes are with them now, because I wouldn't tolerate that.
I will, and you know what? That is another conversation. The line between when do you become controlling, in quotation marks, as a man versus, or a woman, in terms of determining what your partner wears, right? Versus not being controlling,
Yeah, it's good. That's a good topic. Bella, if you're there, let's connect. Honestly, let's connect. Let's talk about this.
All right. Yes, I would love to, and we probably should do a series, lessons to unlearn. But anyway,
I'm with it.
Yeah. Can I ask you something? Did you ever discuss what's her name, Sukihana?
I did it, and I wouldn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I would, because again, she doesn't her. There's no really connection to what I present on the channel.
Okay.
So it's not like she says she's a Christian.
I think she says she is. I think she's a Christian.
Yes, Suki.
What she says and what she does don't make her Christian.
Yeah, but I think that to that particular
she probably identifies as a Christian.
Yeah, to that particular point, it might be worth mentioning. And also, to be honest, Dre, there's so much that you probably could cover that you're choosing wisely and praying over what you do and what you don't do. I do think it's worth talking about, because especially in light of the whole Home Depot girl thing. So a lot of that, it was a lot. There were those two situations happening around the same exact time. I mean, we could be talking about that, or people finding illicit substances in the White House. It's a lot going on in the world.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Oh, my pleasure. And I appreciate you guys for being here. All right.
Grace and peace, y'all. Peace.
Yeah, I'm about to end this because I got to go. All right, guys. Let me let you guys down. Why am I? All right. There we go. Listen, I got to go. Thank you guys so much for joining the conversation. I really appreciate it. CJ, Andrea, Vern, CP, honestly, thank you guys so much. And everybody in the chat, William, TKC, Bella, or Wash Your Hands, everybody, I appreciate your input and add it to the conversation. This is one of those nuanced conversations, like most conversations, and it's because there's 7 billion people in the world. Some have that group mindset, but others think more deeply beyond group thinking, which I appreciate. We all have different opinions on various things, and allowing space for people to be free to converse is important to me, and that's what I'm trying to have here. And it happened tonight. So guys, thank you guys so much. Listen, if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so it'll let you know when I go live and when I upload new videos. As well, if you haven't liked the video, do me a favor, hit the like button right now. And what else? I haven't done this in like 2 weeks. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can do so by hitting the membership button down below, or going to patreon.com/Harrison Family Values and becoming a monthly supporter there. It allow us to continue to do content like this, have new guests. I want to start paying my guests too, because I think it's only right. So guests and the equipment that I use here as well, it helps keep the channel relevant and up to date. And if you would like to purchase some merch, you can do so by hitting the merch button down below and purchasing whatever it is that you would like to purchase. It helps us by supporting the channel, and you get something in return. So leave a comment, Let me know what you guys think of the conversation. If you agree, disagree, what parts you disagree with, and why you disagree with it. And I promise I will write you back, because I tend to do that with everybody who comments to me, even if it's negative. I love you all. Thank you guys so much for watching. And until the next upload, a live stream, I'm out. Peace.